Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss on the topic structure of compiler. So, from Unit 1, from the subject principles of compiler design, this particular topic, which seems to be an very important topic, the structure of compiler. So, whenever that you're going to learn something, you must know the overall process of the entire thing so that you could have a proper knowledge on what is going to be the process or what is going to be the input and what is going to be the output. So these things are very important thing in learning process or learning methodology. So as per those things, so here in principles of compiler design, structure of compiler is very important one, because the entire process that we have in the compiler design, which is being demonstrated using some simple diagrammatic representation as the overall flow of the compilation process that we have. So the structure of compiler seems to be an important one that we have to concentrate on. So using this particular topic, we could get an idea as what are the various things that is happening in compiler design. And this is going to be the introduction for your structure of compiler. So we are going to treat the entire compilation process as a single box. So in this single box we have some two important parts as the analysis part and then synthesis part. So using these two parts only, we are going to perform some various process in this structure of compiler. So basically in structure of compiler, as already discussed, we have some 7 different phases. So we must know what are the various things that we used to perform in each and every phases. So starting from lexical analysis phase, we used to move towards further to an syntactic analysis phase, and further to an intermediate code generation, and then code optimization, and finally to an code generation phase. But with all these phases, we used to use two more phases like symbol table construction or symbol table generation, and then error detection and correction mechanisms. So these are the 7 phases that we have in the structure of compiler. So these 7 phases could be grouped into some more parts as analysis part and synthesis part, where the analysis part, which seems to be acts like an front end for your structure of compiler, and synthesis part, which seems to be acts like an back end for your structure of compiler. So you have an box which seems to be like an sandbox, and within this sandbox you have two parts as analysis part and then synthesis part, where this analysis part, which is going to break up the source program into some pieces of grammatical structure, and then from the grammatical structure we are going to generate some intermediate representation of the source program. So this is going to be the thing that happens in your analysis part. So you have, as already discussed, we have two parts as analysis part and synthesis part, where analysis part, which used to collect some various informations of the source program, and then it just stores those informations in symbol table, where these information whatever that we have stored could be used for further representation that we have in the structure of compiler. And then in the synthesis part, which used to construct the desired output or target program from the intermediate representations that we have in this symbol table. So these are the two important parts that we have related to structure of compiler. um, so the analysis part, which is to act like in front end of the compiler, where the synthesis part, which is to act like in back end. And then so here which is to operates on as a sequence of phases, where each and every phases which has been grouped into analysis part and synthesis part. So that's the thing which is being described here as several phases may be grouped together, and the intermediate representation between these group phases need to be constructed explicitly. So that's the thing that we have. So the symbol table, which is going to be an data structure, which used to help us to store some various informations about your source program, as what are the various variables that we have, or what are the various identifiers that we have, and what are the various attribute values that we have. All those information will be stored in your symbol table. And then here some compilers are completely, which is machine independent one, where the automation phases are seems to be different, which is related to whatever the machines that you are going to use. And then you have two things as front end and back end, as front end for analysis part and back end for your synthesis part. And then you have some intermediate representation, so those intermediate representations will be converted to your target program. um, so these are the various phases that we have in the structure of compiler. So this particular diagram, which is an very important one, because this particular diagram, which gives you a complete flow of the structure of compiler, that we're going to take the character stream as an input, and your first phase, which is going to be lexical analyzer, and the output of lexical analyzer, which is going to be a token stream. And then this token stream, which is going to be acts like an input to your syntax analyzer. And the second phase, syntax analyzer, which used to produce the syntax tree as an output. And then third phase, the syntax tree, which is going to act like an input. And whereas um, uh, once again, just to produce syntax tree with some proper semantics. And the next one, using some intermediate code generation option, we used to generate some intermediate code. So in intermediate code, using some temporary variables, we used to generate some code, but we used to have some more number of lines over there. And then further, using some code optimization phase, we used to take the intermediate code, and then whatever the number of lines of code that we have will get reduced after applying this code optimization phase. And finally, the code generator, which is to generate some proper code that could be executed in your computer. So with all these phases, um, the symbol table will get coordinated, and that will be used. So the objective of this structure of compiler is, we are going to take a source program, and then that will be passed to some various phases that we have in the structure of compiler, and finally that will get converted to an target program or object program, where this object program will get executed in your computer. So the important things that we have to concentrate here in the structure of compiler are 7 phases whatever that we have. We have to concentrate on all those 7 phases. And then the next important thing is, we have two important parts, as analysis part and synthesis part. And where analysis part, which used to act like an front end, and synthesis part, which used to act like an back end for us, where uh, the input of your analysis part, which is going to be source program, and the output of your analysis part will be feed as an input to your synthesis part. And the synthesis part, we used to take the input from the analysis part, and we used to produce some target program as an output. So these are the various important things that we have related to structure of compiler. So students, you will have to concentrate much on this particular topic. The reason is, based on this particular topic, we is to study all the other units in your syllabus. So this is going to be one of the important topic uh, in this particular subject. And as per the university question paper pattern, normally they used to ask this particular question for about 80 percentage. So we could expect this particular question for about 80 percentage. So students, concentrate much on this particular topic. and you have to be very thorough with what are the various phases that you have in this structure of compiler. So with this, I'm stopping this presentation, and thank you for listening. Thank you.